From Fish Foods, the manufacturers of Vegemite, doesn't taste fishy, and beaver butter, not crusty like the others, comes a new product, Pecker Pepper. Pecker Pepper, made from the pecker of the South Tasmanian bucktooth rooster and its droppings. So if you want to spice up your meat, reach for the pecker.
Good day. Welcome to Children's Story Corner. Today we're going to look at Goldilocks and the Three Bears. There are three versions of this, all written by the one person. First one, written in the late 19th century, early 20th century, published in the newspaper, was with a grumpy old lady instead of the Goldilocks that you know today. Now, it didn't go over too well because people didn't think much of a grumpy old lady that jumped out of a window, which is fair enough. Who wants grumpy old ladies jumping out of your window? Anyway, the next one was replaced by a kindly old lady. Now, that still didn't go over too well because a kindly old lady breaking into a bear's cottage and had nothing. In that version, there were no chairs or anything. It was just went in there and ate the food and lay down on the bed. The bears came in. She goes, "Oh my goodness, there's the bear," and jumped out the window. And then it was replaced by Goldilocks, cute little girl with golden hair. This is the version that we're going to be looking at today. So the scene starts in the book, in the story, in the book, which is the story that is in the book, what it is. Yeah. It's the three bears. There's a papa bear and a mama bear and a baby bear. Now, what happened was the mother bear cooked porridge. Now, bears like porridge, apparently. I've never seen bears eat porridge. I don't even know if they know how to make porridge, but in this one they made porridge, and they lived in a house instead of a cave. And it was all furnished and everything, and I think Papa Bear, I think he worked in the, I don't know, I think he worked in the bearskin factory. I don't know. Anyway, Mother Bear made the porridge and sat it down. 3 bowls. Now, they took a sip out of it, and they said, "Oh, this is too hot." Now, instead of just blowing on the damn thing or putting a fan on it, they decide they're going to go for a walk while the porridge cools down. So off they go, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. Yeah, tra-la-las, tra-la-la-la. And then, through the forest happens to be walking a beautiful young girl with lovely golden locks called Goldilocks. And what she's doing wandering around in the forest by herself is anybody's guess. Her parents are probably out, I don't know, at the casino or something. And she comes across the bear's house. Now she looks in, opens the door, didn't even knock, doesn't bother knocking. You know how rude. She goes in and she sees the porridge on the table and she says, "Oh, I've been walking through the forest for a long time, so I'm going to have some of that." I mean, that's stealing. That's stealing food. Anyway, I won't get onto that. So she sits down and eats Papa's porridge, and it's too hot. So then she tries Mama Bear's porridge, and it's too cold. So then she tries Baby Bear's porridge, and it's just right. So she scoffs that whole thing down. Now here's where the idiocy comes in. There are 3 bowls, three bowls on the table, all of the same pot, came out of the same pot. They're all the same bowl sizes, and one's too hot, one's too cold, and one's just right. Now that's rubbish. I mean, you look at it, you just think about that for a minute. Came out of the same pot, off the same stove, same bowls. So that's a physics thing that's wrong. So she gets up off the table and she decides, "Oh, I might sit down. My legs are tired." So she goes and sits in Papa Bear's Bear's chair and it's too hard. Sat in Mama Bear's chair and it was too soft. She sits on Baby Bear's chair and it's just right. But she weighs twice as much as Baby Bear. So after a little while it goes crashing to the floor. It's broken to splinters. There's all sorts of things going on. There's little thumbtacks from the upholstery. It got stuck in wherever. So she gets up, doesn't even bother to try and repair it or anything, just says, oh, well, stuff it. So she goes into the next room and there's 3 beds. Now, I got a problem with that. There's Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear, all in the same room, right? And what happens when Papa and Mama want to have a bit of the old rumpy-dumpies, you know, with the beary-dairies things, and Baby Bear's in the other bed? They've got to be very quiet, otherwise they'll wake him up. Anyway, that's beside the point. So she goes and hops on Papa Bear's bed, and it's too hard. She's messed that up. Goes on Mama Bear's bed, and it's too soft. She's messed all that up. There's blankets and everything going everywhere. Pillows are all disturbed. And she gets in Baby Bear's bed, and there oh, it's nice and comfy. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to lie here for a while. Now, the woman or the girl has broken into the house. 1. She's eaten the food. 2. And then 3, she goes and sits on chairs and breaks one of them. And then the 4th one, then she gets onto the beds and musses up 2 of them and snuggles into the other one. I mean, that's just, that's break and enter. Burglary, that's what that is. It's burglary. Anyway, the 3 bears come back from the walk, and they said, oh, I'm looking forward to this porridge. Needless to say, they don't know that one's too hot, one's too cold, one's just right. And how would they don't know? They're physics people. They know that they should all be the same temperature. Oh, I don't want to get on to that again. Anyway, so they look at it, and Papa Bear says, somebody's been eating my porridge. Mama Bear says, somebody's been eating my porridge. And Baby Bear says, somebody's been eating my porridge. Now, the 3 of them, they're all on the same table. They're all there together. Don't they notice the other porridges? Or they only notice theirs? They're too focused on their own porridge. So Baby Bear says, somebody's been eating mine and they ate it all up. Well, it's disgraceful. Now, instead of saying, right, let's call the police, they say, no, we'll have a look through the house. So they go into the lounge room and there's the chairs. Papa Bear says, somebody's been sitting in my chair. How does he know that's too hard? Wouldn't be mussed up. Mother Bear says, somebody's been sitting in my chair. And once again, how would she know that? There's no blankets, no pillows, no nothing mentioned. And then Baby Bear says, somebody sat on my chair and they smashed it, they broke it. And instead of crying like a baby should do, go, where was somebody mark my chair? And what am I going to sit on now? No, they go walking through the house again. They go into the bedroom. And once again, 3 beds, all in the one room. Nobody notices the other beds. They just see their own bed. Focus. Too much. There's no this. It's all that when they're looking. So Papa Bear says, somebody's been sleeping on my bed and they mussed it up. Mama Bear says, somebody's sleeping on my bed, they mussed it up. Baby Bear says, somebody's sleeping in my bed, and there she is, she's still there. And they walk over to the bed, and that's when Goldilocks wakes up. Now, instead of detaining her for the police, which Papa Bear should have done, he was a big grizzly old thing. So she jumps up and hops out the window and runs off. Now, according to the story, they went on the one story, they had to go up the stairs into that bedroom. But I've kept it on the one level, and the reason I've done that is because if she'd have jumped out the first window, she'd most likely have sprained or broken her ankle or something. How could she run off? But that's rude of her anyway. She jumps out the window, she eats the porridge, she breaks the chair, she musses up the beds, and then she jumps out the window and runs off. Now, what sort of a story is that to tell a kid? What sort of explanation can you give a kid to say that that's okay? Well, it's not bloody okay, and I'm telling you, it's not. So don't read the bloody thing. Bye.
If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you didn't, tell someone who gives a rat's.